All right, y'all. In this video, we got to break down the little bit of coverage that the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark, got in Game 1 versus the playoffs on First Take. I'm about to break this all the way down and show you how scared they was to even touch on it and what they tried to do to throw us off. What they tried to do is have Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith go at Andrea Carter about her BS takes, and Molly, BS takes they was taking on Caitlin Clark, and as if they're defending Caitlin Clark, right? So when you're watching the show, yeah, get her ass, right? But what they really doing is making that issue, right? Whatever Andrea Carter had, making that issue a thing, the topic, and so they won't have to talk about the eye gouging from Cougar Carrington, Freddie Cougar Carrington. That's what this is about. So we're going to listen to the whole thing, right? This is about them being able to save face a little bit. Say, okay, we can't not just not speak on the game or give a quick little take like we would for any other WNBA playoff game. This is Caitlin Clark. She's the face of our league. So she just had a playoff game. We got to speak on it and can't give a little quick take. And we have to stay away from what Dejanay Cougar Carrington did to Caitlin Clark. And so how do we do that without just talking about the game? We're going to get on Andrea because it's going to make Caitlin Clark fans feel good that we got on Andrea. And so we'll be able to try to cover up what Dejanay Cougar Carrington did to Caitlin Clark. Let's listen.
Aces are just showing us they've been there. You know what it reminds me of too, Molly? You all were just talking about Patrick Mahomes, two-time champion.
Again, yes, and I haven't figured out how to put stuff on the screen for y'all to see. If somebody knows how I can do that, please leave a comment. Let me know. How can I put it on the screen as I'm talking? What device y'all use? What do you use? I would love to know. Enlighten me. But we're gonna just listen to the audio of it, and I'm gonna chime in.
Champion with the Chiefs, and he talked about the grit and character, and they've been there before. We're seeing that exact same thing with the Aces.
And they both got the same goal, going for the three-peat, right? Caitlin Clark struggled in her playoff debut. She shot .417 from the field, Dre, as the Fever dropped Game 1 to the Sun.
Now, first thing out of Molly's mouth. Caitlin Clark, which is a script, she's reading from a prompter. Caitlin Clark struggled in her first playoff game appearance and this, that, and the other. They did a quick take on this. Caitlin Clark struggled. They love to say that type shit.
93 to 69. Do you think Caitlin and the Fever can turn it around in Game 2?
Well, I do think Caitlin and the Fever will turn it around, meaning I think Caitlin will have a much more efficient day, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough to get a win. You have to give so much credit, Molly, to the Connecticut Sun. They came...
Why wouldn't it be enough? If she came out and played at the top of her game, and the Indiana Fever did, they didn't already whoop the pants off for the Sun before. Why wouldn't that be enough?
Out with a game plan. Alyssa Thomas with a playoff triple-double. That's what she does. Marina Mabry, who we talked about that trade.
That's what she does? How many playoff triple-doubles do she got? That's what she does. If that's what she does. See, again, y'all, they try to hype up shit. That's what she does. So she averaged, saying that's what she does, meaning that's basically what she averages in the playoffs. Triple-double. I would love to know, which I'm going to do my research as I get off this video, how many triple-doubles does Alyssa Thomas have in the playoffs?
Trade on First Take when it happened. Marina Mabry, 27 points off the bench, and DeWanna Bonner, who's won a championship before, that woman right there, they put DeWanna Bonner, who's 6'4", as the primary defender on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin hasn't seen that primary match.
And this is the thing, Christy Size, this is coaching. When a team does something like that, when they put their 6'4" small forward on Kaylin Clark, right? Whoever was supposed to be guarding Kaylin Clark, whether, I don't know the point guard's name for the Sun, but it's either usually Carrington or that point guard for the Sun. So this is what I would do. This is how you easily combat that. If you putting your 6'4" small forward on me, then whoever the point guard is guarding, whether it's Kelsey Mitchell or Lexi Hall, because damn sure you're not going to put the point guard on the power forward nor the center. So you're going to either put the point guard that you're taking off of Kaylin Clark, and you're going to put them on the shooting guard or their small forward. Lexi Hall is our starting small forward, okay? And then the shooting guard is Kelsey Mitchell. So let's just say the point guard went to go guard Lexi Hall. She's on Lexi Hall. What do you do in this situation to get this matchup to change? You send Lexi Hall to screen for Kaylin Clark. Now, when Kaylin Clark come off that screen, they either going to have to double Kaylin Clark, which will leave Lexi Hall open. You don't want it because she can shoot that perimeter, so that's great. Go, thank you. Leave her open because she can shoot that three and that perimeter. I'm screening for Kaylin. If they don't double or blitz Kaylin Clark off that screen, now Kaylin Clark has the proper matchup with the point guard guarding her because they had to switch because Lexi Hall set a solid screen. Kaylin Clark comes off of it. They either have to switch or whatever. They're going to be confused or they're going to have to double Kaylin and get the ball out of her hands and you get it to Lexi Hall. Now, let's say it's Kelsey Mitchell, who the point guard for the Sun is guarding instead of Kaylin Clark. You have Kelsey Mitchell come set the screen. But we're going to make a mismatch. You're not just going to sit there and guard Kaylin Clark 6'4" and tower over her. I'm going to create a mismatch, even if it's my big. Because if my big come screen and Kaylin get her off of that, again, I would have Lexi Hall because she can shoot that perimeter shot and that three-point shot if they double team Kaylin Clark. I know Aaliyah Boston has been knocking down that little mid-range shot out of the double from Kaylin when Kaylin Clark gets doubled and she gives Aaliyah Boston the ball and she takes a dribble or two and she right there to hit that. She's been doing a lot better than what she was all season long these past few games. But I'm going to trust Lexi can hit that shot too. I've seen Lexi hit that shot many times. So yeah, you're not going to be able to guard us like that. I'll figure that part out. And I'll make your team pay for that.
Matchup yet this season. It's something she has to adjust to. We have to remember, Caitlin's just a rookie. This is a matchup she hasn't seen. I think she'll be better in game 2. Do I think it'll be enough? I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, let's keep it rolling with the playoffs underway. Season awards have been handed out in the W.
See, let's keep it going. See, they're about to skip. Yeah, Kaylin got... Skip the part where Kaylin got manicured, pedicured nails gauged into her eyeball in the first minute and a half of the game. Let's just say she was struggled. Let's just say, you know, it's because of DeWanna Bonner being 6'4", which did have a lot to do with it too. And again, the coach made no adjustments to combat that. That's crazy. But oh, let's just say all of this other stuff, okay? And now let's move on to the awards. Because her fans going to want to hear about the awards, and she was the unanimous Rookie of the Year. So let's move away from the game, and since we're not going to bring that up, let's talk about her awards.
And to no one's surprise, Kaylin Clark was named unanimous.
To no one's surprise. Do you hear this script? To no one's surprise, Kaylin Clark is named unanimous Rookie of the Year. To no one's surprise? You mean like you and her? Because y'all should be surprised the way you was talking earlier in the season and the way that everybody, actually not just you two, a bunch of you that's been on these mainstream media platforms has called Angel Reese as the Rookie of the Year. So here you are talking about to no one's surprise.
Unanimous Rookie of the Year by the Associated press. Shay, we'll welcome the guys into the conversation here. How would you describe Caitlin Clark's season after being named unanimous Rookie of the Year by the AP?
Yeah, you know, for me...
Is this for me, Molly?
Or you
Shannon. Yeah,
Good, no, it's you. I think
Right, come on. Okay, here, because all we've heard from is Andrea Carter. Think about this, too. Instead of having your top faces on ESPN First Take in Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith, instead of having them talk about the game or the quick little take that they gave on Game 1, Sun versus Fever, you had Andrea Carter talk about it. Like, who cares about her? Okay? And now you're talking about, you bring Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith into the equation once you start talking about this the Rookie of the Year, unanimous Rookie of the Year award. But again, they just sitting back, and then Andrea Carter, she thinks she could say, you've been talking for a whole 10 minutes, girl. Yeah, now you have the two men up there to let somebody else speak.
Shay.
me.
Yes, sir. You, Shannon.
Oh, okay. I thought look, I don't think there's any surprise. I mean, she averaged 19 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal.
20 points.
Scored the most points by a point guard in WNBA history. The most amazing thing is not the unanimous Rookie of the Year. Is she's first team All WNBA with the big dogs. She's on the team with Asia Wilson. She's on the team with Stewie. Let that sink in. She is a rookie, and this is where she is. And Andrea makes some great points. DeWanna Bonner is 6'4" tall. She's lanky. She's angular. She can cause problems without fouling because she can cover a lot of ground. A lot of times, the guards that are guarding Caitlin, they're normally her height, maybe a little shorter. But when you got somebody like a DeWanna Bonner, who's 6'4" tall, who can slide, who's effortless, she kind of reminds you she kind of built like a female version of Scottie Pippen. You see how long and angular she are. She can meet her at the point. She can contest shots without fouling. But look, Caitlin Clark had an unbelievable rookie season. I think a lot of people might be surprised by that. But you don't put up the numbers that she put up in college and not figure it out. She's a gym rat. You can tell she's a gym rat, and she was going to figure it out. She struggled. She's not the first rookie to struggle in their first playoff appearance. So I'm not surprised that she struggled. Give DeWanna Bonner a lot of credit for causing that struggle.
You know, for me, guys, it was a...
What about Dejanay Cougar Carrington? Can we give her a lot of credit for causing that struggle with the eye gouge? They stand away from that.
Rookie masterclass. When you think about the statistics that Caitlin was able to put up, the way she was able to elevate her teammates. You have to think, Caitlin Clark comes in, the entire offense shifts, the entire offense gets faster. Kelsey Mitchell is running and she is making plays. Aaliyah Boston's making plays. Lexi Hull, the entire team is elevated with the addition of Caitlin Clark. This is an organization that hadn't had a...
Now Andrea trying to kiss ass. She's trying to kiss ass.
20-win season since 2015, hasn't been in the playoffs since 2016. And when I talk about a rookie masterclass, yes, Caitlin had to figure it, but she stayed the course. This team started 1-8, and they all stayed the course. She allowed her teammates to lead her in certain moments and calm her down in certain moments while still playing the game and being herself out there on the floor, while also dealing with a ton of BS and noise off the court. Caitlin...
That you helped create? That you helped create. Don't leave that out there. Don't leave that out. Let them know that I was a part of all the BS. I was a part of a lot of the BS.
Clark can be used as a unit of measurement from here on out when it comes to noise around the game of basketball. We will be able to in the future say, well, this compares to what Caitlin Clark had to deal with because there was so much noise and she dealt with it and she handled it, and her team is in the playoffs. It is a master class when you think about the way she was able to perform this season as a rookie.
Well, the only level...
You know, it's funny, too, the faces of these gentlemen as I'm watching this. Sorry that I can't pull it up for y'all to see it with me. And hopefully y'all good with listening and getting my my takes on what they talking about. But to see the faces on these dudes as she talking, they just sitting there like... like, are you... Girl, I don't want to hear what you got to say. because you full of.
Level of opposition I would throw into the mix with what Andrea just said is that, you know what, no, I don't know if you noticed, she said hi to Molly. She didn't tell us hello, how are you? She said nothing to me.
Well, that was my guy.
Just Molly.
Really?
I mean, we just here.
We just teed you went straight into being
It's all right. It's all right. No.
She know her ass is on the line. She know the script that was handed out that morning. She know the script that was handed out that morning is for y'all two to attack her, call her out on her BS, so the fan base and the watchers, the viewers, can be smooth with somebody getting attacked on their BS takes for Caitlin Clark. And we don't have to worry about them y'all talking about the eye gouging.
It's okay. It's all right. I got it. I can't dispute the Andrea. No, I'm gonna mess with her. She know that with her snake loving self. Here's the deal. I'm literally snakes, ladies.
We're not even talking about me.
I understand that. We're not talking about you. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing that out. Let me say this. I love the point that you made about Caitlin Clark in terms of the BS that she had to deal with off the court. We got to remember she's been box office. She was the main attraction, and there were so many storylines that's been associated with her. Most recently, the whole thing with her and Cheryl Swoops, even though it really wasn't her. It was Cheryl Swoops and all this. Every time you turned around, there was something that she had to deal with. The reason I bring that up, and I love that, because as a rookie, ladies and gentlemen, put this in perspective. Caitlin Clark finished the regular season leading rookies in scoring, field goals made, three-point field goals made, assists, steals, and minutes played, and she led the league in assists and three-pointers made. Think about that for a second here. And like Shannon says, ultimately, you first team, you one of those people. So we got in fourth in the league in MVP voting. Okay, fourth. So you got to give love where it's due. But oftentimes, when we take this, let's think about the comparisons we may make to people in other sports. People, when they talk about boxing, Andrea, Shay, Molly, they'll say Muhammad Ali was the greatest. Now, Floyd Mayweather might dispute that. Sugar Ray Leonard might dispute that. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, if he was still alive, God rest his soul, might dispute that, along with various others. But the reason why, in the public eye, Ali was the greatest was because of the adversity. It's not to compare one to the other, because I'm not trying to do that. I'm simply pointing out that what goes on outside the court, the field, the ring of play, per se, matters.
That is not true. Muhammad Ali is not considered the greatest of all times because of the adversity. Now, he went through adversity for sure, but it is much more. Now, you got it. Okay, it's a lot of things a lot of variables that go into being the greatest of all times. So yes, somewhat of that is true, but it wasn't that, man. It was his greatness in that boxing ring. In that boxing ring, he was something like we've never seen before. He could give punches as well as take punches. He had a thing called the rope-a-dope, to where what most fighters consider detrimental is you got to stay away from the ropes, because a lot of people don't survive once a fighter got you to the ropes. Muhammad Ali used to take on opponents. He used to back himself to the ropes and say, come on. Knowing I'm about to take as many shots as you can try to give me. I'm going to block the ones I could block, but the ones I can't. I'm going to take those. But what I know is, in my mind, I'm tiring you out. As soon as you reach that limit of being tired of punching and now you gas, guess whose turn it is? It's my turn. The rope-a-dope is what they called it. That was, we've never seen nothing like that before. And to do it and take that from George Foreman, who at the time was undefeated, knocking damn near everybody out. People thought, no way is Muhammad Ali going to do the rope-a-dope versus George Foreman. No way. He going to lose for sure. He did it, and he won. So, yeah, you can say some of the other stuff, but nah, it mainly was because of his fighting skills in the ring.
Because your mental becomes incredibly important. Now, in society in this day and age, we've paid more attention to the mental, more so than never before. Naomi Osaka and various others having to deal with what they've had to deal with. In some cases, some people succumbing to that stuff. This girl didn't do that. She elevated. She seemed to thrive. The second that we talk.
Funny how he said we talk about the mental of being mentally strong and tough to get through all of the nonsense that you have to get through being an icon athlete in today's day and age where social media is a thing and everybody got an opinion. It's funny how he says we talk about that more. Y'all don't talk about that for Caitlin Clark. You talking about it right now. You saying something right now, but my goodness. Why haven't y'all been talking about her, how strong mentally she is? She's been dealing with more stuff than any other athlete coming into a professional sport that we have ever seen. And I know I'm 40 plus, so I've never seen this much scrutiny, this much hatred, this much animosity, jealousy, in every word damn near. Hatred, racism, every word that's negative, you can tie it to what Caitlin Clark has had to deal with in her first professional season. But yet, in a day and age to where you just said, we talk about that a lot. Well, how come this is one of your first times really talking about it? And are you going to really talk? Because that should be a whole segment. Caitlin Clark's mental strength. Her persona off the court. The things she has had to endure in a season has not ever happened before to any other superstar player ever. LeBron James took scrutiny a little bit. He had naysayers that didn't think he was, going to be the next big thing the way that ESPN and everybody was talking about him before he even took one dribble on the NBA floor. So you have people, even myself, I'm like, how could y'all say he's going to be a Michael Jordan? Y'all don't know what this kid, he was in high school dominating. You know how many people dominated in high school? That doesn't determine that you're going to be like that when you get to the league, okay? But he proved everybody wrong, so on and so forth. Now it's that. They made sure he was a media darling from the jump. He was a media darling. Michael Jordan, he went through stuff versus certain teams like the Bad Boy Pistons, but for the most part, he was well received. You had naysayers who would go and talk about Bill Russell was the best that they've ever seen or something like that. Will Chamberlain or somebody wait because people say Michael Jordan is the best thing that they ever seen. And you had the older heads like, oh, you didn't see Bill Russell type. But for the most part, Mike was well received from his peers and the media. So I've never witnessed nobody getting this much negativity thrown their way in the first year of their professional career, especially unwarranted negativity.
We talked about her needing to be on Team USA. Obviously, all of us weren't in agreement with that. But you know what's undeniable? She's been better since the Olympic play was over because she got that much-needed rest.
She got
In fairness to Andrea, she got that much-needed rest going from college to the pros, not having any rest.
Why you gloss over what Shannon just said? Give it some attention, Stephen A. He just said she got snubbed. And you could have said, yeah, she did get that and continued on.
Whatsoever, got a breather, got a chance to take a breath and churn that second engine to a degree. And what has she looked like since? She's looked at
right now as Stephen A is talking, Shannon Sharp's face looks just like this. I'm going to try to do it for y'all. I'm going to try to do it. I'm a lot handsomer than Shannon Sharp, so I probably couldn't give it to you the way. He like a straight bull right now. He got the face of a bull that's ready to bam. That's what he look like right now.
Absolutely marvelous, regardless of whatever noise has been out there. So when you show that you're able to perform in the face of adversity, to me, that is the true testament to greatness. And that's why we're looking at her and we're saying greatness is on the way.
Stephen A., I would be remiss if I didn't say this. A lot of this noise came by people that were sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, saying, well, you giving her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came before her, what they did cannot be taken away. That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark.
See how this is a script. You see how, so good cop, bad cop is what they doing versus to Andrea Carter. They playing good cop, bad cop. This was talked about in the meeting room before they came on set. Trust me. They playing good cop, bad cop. Stephen A., you highlight that good stuff that Adrian Carter said, that the rest was much needed and all of that. And Shannon, after Steven's done, gets his take, you go ahead and, I would be remiss, it would be whatever he said, if I don't bring this back up. Because it was some people on this network that said this, that, and the other. Because they knew, see, everything that I just played beforehand, it's not really worthy of talk for the people. Like everything, right before, everything you heard up until this part, when Shannon Sharpe is about to go in, this is where they clipped out everything and put it all out everywhere. The part where Shannon Sharpe starts going in on Andrea Carter, okay? Because they knew this would be what it keep people, oh, you know, oh yeah, they went hard on her. That's right. ESPN, you know, Shannon Sharpe, yeah, that's my guy. He's a goofball. Shay. He's a goofball. He done sold his soul too. They all compromised and worked for them network. They compromised. Stephen A., he been the biggest goofball. They're trying to clean their goofballishness up by doing certain things and saying certain things on these platforms like ESPN that carry over to their individual platforms that they have on YouTube. Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe. That's what this is. But let's check it out. Let's listen.
Clark, but there was a lot of people tried to make sure they keep Caitlin Clark in her place, because what you're doing, if you give her all this shine, you minimize what they done. You can't minimize what Maya Moore or Candace Parker or Lisa Leslie or Lauren Jackson or Diana Taurasi or Simone Augustus or any of the other great players.
It's already minimized because it was never nothing. It was never nothing to move the needle. So it's minimized on its own. Caitlin Clark ain't minimizing nothing. She only maximizing everything. Everything.
That Caitlin Clark, what she's doing, doesn't minimize what they've done. But
no, it actually just maximizes what they've done. It actually puts a shine, because we have to talk about who records she broke, who had them before, who holds this record and that record. We got to start now talking about who has these records, who did Caitlin just pass. So it actually maximizes something that nobody would have ever seen, no matter how good they might have thought the achievements and accomplishments was that they achieved. Nobody on the masses, it always would have been minimized. Caitlin maximized it. Caitlin maximized it so much before she even got to the WNBA. When she broke the record, scoring and assists, you had a woman come out from underneath the rock, talking about, I have the award and you can't duplicate what can't be duplicated. She thought she was dropping bars. You can't duplicate what can't be duplicated. And we're like, who is this? Oh, she had the record back in 1930. Oh, she broke the record. Oh, when they was playing with rocks. When they was playing with rocks as basketballs. That's what she talking about? They didn't have no three-point line. So Caitlin can't break her record because she played with a three-point line and she played with an actual basketball. Like, what? So now we got now if she didn't do it that way, if she did it in a graceful, classy, professional way, we would have known who she was. Just what she did that was minimized, that's been held. She didn't have this record for however long. and it's been floating under the radar. Caitlin Clark maximized it by her play without even saying your name, none of that. Just by her breaking your record. Now people can look and say, well, who had the record? Oh, this person had it? Oh, okay.
Giving her the credit. We saw the ratings. We saw the merchandise sales. We saw the attendance. But y'all want to make it about something else. Oh, what about the women that laid the foundation? What about this? What about it? That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is box office. She's doing this. And instead of giving her credit, y'all tried to make it about, oh, y'all poo-pooing the old guard. Y'all never talked about the old guard like this. Nah, I ain't gonna let it slide. Caitlin Clark, unanimous rookie of the year. But what's even more impressive, she's first team WNBA. First.
You know, Shannon, I hear you, right? I hear you 100%. But another level of noise was coming.
But, here go the but. When you say but, that means you on bullshit.
From people, you were one of them who also tried to create a picture around Caitlin that the league was against her based on the actions of less than 5 former players or current players. Which
not less than 5. Now you don't know how to do math. Now, so you counted the 4 players, because you said less than 5, so you know it's what, 4? You got 4 in your head. In your head of the players that has been disrespectful, hatred, negative towards Caitlin Clark. You got 4 in your head because it's less than 5, right? Well, let's count the ways. And I want to count the ways before the break, before Olympic break. You had, starting out, before the season started, you had Cheryl Swoops come out and lie on that girl. You had the lady who I was just talking about, can't duplicate what can't be duplicated. You had her, that's 2, right? You had Becky Hammond come out and say, I don't care if Kermit the Frog got us charter flights. I mean, hell, and why do we got to talk about her? You had Asia Wilson talk about she only popular because she's white. You had Angel Reese before any of them, right? You had Angel Reese before any of them. Then you add on Kennedy Carter, smack her in the back. Then you add on the Seattle Storm player who kind of shoved Caitlin in the chest and neck area after the 3-point, and Caitlin was finna put them paws on her. Where we at? That's 7 so far. That's 7. I can continue on. Cheryl Reeves, USA Olympic coach and Minnesota Lynx coach, talking about how Caitlin Clark's game is not the only game on. You can catch our game streaming over here and this, that, and the other. Early on. This is all early on. Okay? So, when they say these type of things, I mean, that's damn near 8, 9 people I just named off the top of my head. That's either current players, ex-players, current coaches, even the USA coach. I just named off the top of my head. I can go further, I'm sure. But, again, all this BS, I'm not going to even play the rest of it. I know a lot of y'all already heard of it, and I've been up here 30, 40 minutes already. So, again, all of this was just to cover up not having to talk about Carrington Cougar Carrington gouging. Man, it kills me every time I can't believe that somebody would actually point their finger in somebody's eye like that, and knowing you got sharp ass nails on. Like, I wouldn't be, listen, man, Carrington, you a cold piece of work, and I don't wish no evil upon nobody, but God don't like ugly. And even though you might think you gorgeous on the outside, you very ugly on the inside, and your day is coming. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. It's the Pope, man. Peace and love. Make sure I hit the subscribe button and the like button. Share the video. I'm out.